Here's what you'll need to make a giant Jaffa cake: a 135 gram pack of jelly, a lime, because I'm making lime Jaffa cake. If you want to make the traditional orange one, just switch the jelly for orange jelly and the lime for orange. For your cake mixture, you're going to need some butter, caster sugar, self-raising flour and eggs. And for the topping, you're going to need a mixture of dark chocolate, milk chocolate and some double cream. First thing you're going to want to do is get the cake tin that you're going to put the cake mixture in, line it with cling film, and into a bowl put 250 millilitres of boiling water and your 135 gram of jelly, dissolve it, let it cool down for a minute or two, then you're just going to pour that into there because it takes a good while to set. So once you've got that into there, it's into the fridge for about an hour or two. Now for your basic cake ingredients, I'm using an 8-inch baking tin. So in here I've got 200 grams of butter, 200 grams of caster sugar, and you'll also be using 200 grams of self-raising flour. So your main three ingredients, butter, sugar, flour, are all the same amount, and we're going to whisk these up until they're soft and creamy. If your butter's a bit hard, you can nuke it in the microwave for a few seconds to soften it down. Once they look something like that, you're then going to introduce 3 beaten eggs. These are eggs that have had a good whisk round. Don't throw them all in at once, we're just going to introduce them bit by bit, so drop a bit in and mix it round. Once your eggs are thoroughly mixed in there as well, you're going in with your 200 grams of flour, but you're going to sieve the flour so that it's really fine and it gets some air into the mixture. Once you've sieved the flour in, whatever you do, don't use the whisk again because you want to keep that air in there. You're just going to fold this in until it's thoroughly mixed. When it's something like that consistency, that's your basic cake mix ready. It should be ready now for the oven. But just to add a bit of extra flavour to it, add some zest, in this case lime, or you can use orange, whatever flavour you like to make it, and also about a tablespoon of the fruit juice you're using. So again, in this case lime. Again, whatever you do, don't use a mixer, just fold it in with your spatula. That's your basic cake mix done. Now let's see how the jelly's getting on. Jelly's set. Just loosen the cling film away from the sides. The good thing about these cake tins is you just take the jelly out and set this aside. Set aside. It's time to oil the tin any way you can. Push it round so that it's completely covered. Then you're going to need to cut yourself a little template of grease-proof paper and line the bottom there, pressing it down into the oil so it sticks that you've just put in. Then into there goes your cake mixture. Then smooth it out so that it's pretty much level in the tin. And then this is going to go into the preheated oven at 180 degrees for about 25 minutes until you see it brown on top. It'll probably form a dome as well. And then you stick a little wooden skewer or cocktail stick or whatever you've got to hand in the middle. And if it comes out clean, i.e. there's no cake mixture stuck to it, then you know that it's done. Once your skewer comes out without any ingredients on it, it's just about done. So take it out of the oven, turn it upside down on a rack. If you haven't got a cake rack, use what you use for grilling or anything, just as long as it's on a rack so things can fall. Then coax it. There you go, it's fallen. If it does stick a bit, just turn it over and go around the edges with a knife. Take the cake tin off. Hopefully you're left with something like that. And take greaseproof paper off. Then you're going to leave that to cool down. Any extra bits like that, there for the chef. Next we're going to place the chocolate in a Bain-Marie, or if you're not pretentious and having yourself on, a bowl over some simmering steaming water. So it's in with 100 grams of milk chocolate and 100 grams of dark chocolate, and we're just going to melt those down over there. Once your chocolate's melted, you don't want it heated up or anything, just as long as it's melted. Turn off the heat, and you can add in about 100 grams of your cream. Mix that in, and then you're going to put it somewhere to cool down, because you don't want to put in hot chocolate onto the jelly. Once your cake has cooled down, I find the easiest way to get the jelly on top is to put the cake on top of the jelly. See how it wobbles? If you try and put the jelly on top of the cake, it's a bit of a struggle. If you do that, you can move it by putting a butter knife underneath, lifting it and adjusting it. So do that, pull the cling film off, and then pop it back onto your rack. If you've an overhang, as I've got here, just cut round it with a knife, and then it's time to put the chocolate on. It's on with the chocolate and cream, or if you're posh you can call it a ganache. I'm going to put that on, sculpt it over the top, and then it needs to go in the fridge for at least 4 to 5 hours, and preferably overnight. Then you hopefully will end up with a finished giant Jaffa cake. Once your cakes come out of the fridge, leave it for an hour or so to come to room temperature, and then you get to eat it.